I'm the president of Shachihata USA. Uh, we are doing this program because it's the month of October, which is the Cancer Recognition Month. And since I'm a cancer survivor, I thought I would tell people about my feeling when I had cancer. I had a esophageal cancer, which is in my esophagus. So esophagus is basically the food line that takes your food down from your mouth to your stomach. So the tumors were in the middle of my esophagus. To back up a little bit, to give you background, uh, I was feeling very, very weak. So when I went to the doctor, they ran a blood test and they found out that my red blood cells were really low. It should be 14 and mine was 6. So the doctor called me right away and said, I need to go immediately and get a blood transfusion. So I went to the hospital, got my blood transfusion, and then they kept me there to find out what caused that. So I had an endoscopy done. Endoscopy discovered that I have tumors in my esophagus. So that's when they kept me there, and of course, I had to get radiation, 25 doses of radiation, 13 doses of chemotherapy. So we did all that, and after those two things, which shrink the tumor of my cancer, and then they did a surgery. The surgery, when I had it done, was relatively new. It was where they took my esophagus out because that's the one that had the cancer, and they pulled my stomach up all the way to my neck and sewed it up there. So my stomach acts like my esophagus now. So that was a pretty relatively new surgery. In the beginning, to tell you the truth, it didn't. I mean, it didn't phase me. Of course, I didn't know what that meant, or that mean I'm gonna die, or doctors didn't tell me anything. So they just said, you have to do the chemotherapy and radiation, and then we'll think about the surgery. So I stayed in the hospital, 2, 3 days, and then they sent me back home. So, you know, then of course it started, fading in me that, oh boy, I got cancer. So, uh, then all sorts of things go through your head, are you gonna live? How long are you gonna live? The surgery is gonna be successful. And of course, I have a 13-year-old daughter, so I really I wanted to live. I think that was my main thing. Because of my daughter, I think I'm living now. Then I had the surgery. Surgery went well. I think it was like 8-hour surgery. After the operation, I lived with the food bag. I had no solid food for 6 months, just milkshake. So gradually, I started coming back to work, started driving again. So my life started to become normal again, at least to some point. And that's what I'm thankful to my friends and family and God that a lot of people die of cancer, but I'm so glad and happy that I'm alive. I get to see my daughter because I want to pay her tuition fees. But even after 7 years, I get nausea every time after I eat for about half an hour. But I don't mind that. I suffer through it because I'm still alive. I was, you know, working for a company, moving along, moving up in the company, being, you know, uh, being the CFO, COO. Um, I was considering myself as like, hey, I'm hot. After this, I think I became very humble. Of course, I do the work the same way, but my attitude have changed dramatically. Trying to live my life being simple. Money doesn't matter anymore that much as it used to. I want to live long enough to see my daughter, you know, at least graduate from college. I was very uh, thankful and actually surprised. Um, the chairman of our parent company in Japan, he came to US to see me in the hospital, which I thought was just, so impressive, so wonderful, so thoughtful of him to do that. It was just amazing that he would do that. Chairman Funahashi is that kind of a person. Uh, so, but they say after 5 years after my surgery, uh, my chances of cancer coming back gets dramatically less. So I'm 7 years after my surgery. So I'm just keeping my fingers crossed. I'm way past the 5 years. So hopefully, you know, I can just keep on going till for another 20 years or something. So I think my advice would be to not give up. Keep going, keep having a positive attitude and want to live. I want to live. So it's kind of hard, but main thing is to keep a good attitude. I mean, don't even think that you're gonna die. I mean, it's just like, oh yeah, it's just cancer. I'm getting treated. In other words, just have a positive attitude that you're gonna live. I mean, if somebody have uh, a loved one or some like maybe a spouse or kids, I think you should think about that one special particular person. If you have that, I think that would help. You know, if you think about that person and you want to live for them, really, because you are in a very sensitive and weak state, so you use that person to give you strength. People are more aware of cancer. I mean, like October month is a cancer awareness month, so people, think about it, and they donate towards the cancer research. That's where the treatment comes. I'm sure my treatment came through some experiment and donation that somebody gave way before me. I think the cancer awareness and the cancer treatment had come a long way, and Shachihata, we have a special stamp made a few years back, which is a pink color stamp, rubber stamp, and we donate $1 every time we sell those stamps to the American Cancer Society. Uh, so I think if more people become more aware, and also people should donate to the American Cancer Society. Uh, that way they can continue doing the research. I'm glad they found a cure for me, and I'm gonna help find cure for the next generation of people by donating money. I think everybody should do that, and that's what we try to Shatyara bring to people's awareness.